I'm recapping 3 trades today. I'm going to start with the trade I took today, um, July 3rd. So right now, obviously, we're at all-time highs. When you're at all-time highs, you're really looking for any excuse to go long. I did have these draws on liquidity to the downside marked out. We also had an SMT when we formed previous day's low. So that's high time frame. That was kind of delivered once we started taking these draws out though. So I didn't really keep this in mind when I was looking at longs today. But if we wanted to go down after market open, I think we would have targeted all this high time frame low resistance liquidity. But that never happened. I'll mark out market open right here. So obviously big moves up right away. The open candle was huge. Kind of chopped a little bit, and then right before the macro, we come down, fill this 5-minute fair value gap. And so what I was looking at, if we inverse this gap, I was going to start looking for shorts most likely. Because if you drop down, there was also this small gap here on the 5-minute, and then there was another pretty big imbalance. But dropping down to the 1-minute, you can see that that small fair value gap wasn't really an imbalance. So if longs are going to continue, I expect this first gap to hold, and I expect price to reverse off of this point because there's no imbalance. We shouldn't want to go past this price just to fill this imbalance. But if we do disrespect this range and inverse this gap, I would have looked for shorts. But that never happens. Obviously, we fill the gap, form a 1-minute fair value gap, fill it, break structure. I waited for a little retrace and then got in. Stops were placed at the 0.79 of this range. So for this trade, I only did one contract. I just took a payout on this funded account, and so my drawdown was really small. So I was only able to use one contract, and all I did was target like a 51 points. I don't like to aim anything less than 50 really. I could have targeted 2R, which is my normal trade, but because we're at all-time highs and because I like the setup, I was comfortable going less than 2R and just targeting this much. Obviously, in the next coming days, I hope to build up this drawdown on this account, and we'll be able to target more, especially at all-time highs. I want to be risking more so that I can secure profits once I get to a certain point, and then just like leave runners and trail stops and profit. Like right now, it looks like I'd probably have like my other contracts with stops here, and that way you can just maximize profits after securing some. So I'll be looking to do that once I can start adding more risk onto this account. But yeah, that was my trade for today. I took, let me see, did I trade yet? Yeah, I took 2 trades yesterday. Barely went on a little bit more than break even. I think I won like half, 0.5R. I honestly kind of forget what I took. Oh no, I remember now. This was yesterday, right? Yeah. So I'll just remove these drawings. So what I saw yesterday, we had obviously swept these lows already, and so I didn't think it really made sense to sweep these again since we like barely wicked it. But we did end up forming an SMT, and I didn't like any more draws down to the downside, which is why I liked longs yesterday. I thought we had lots of stacked liquidity. So let me mark out. I forget what my draws were. But I liked the liquidity available because we had Asia highs here and London highs there. And they were both untapped. So when this SMT held, and we knew it held, this was open, and we started just getting big legs up. And so then price action was decently clean. It was mainly just going up though. Let me find it here on the 1 minute. So yeah, there were no imbalances on the 1 minute until the macro opens. This was the first imbalance we got. And so when we come into this gap, I think I entered here once we started getting reactions out of it, with stops probably somewhere around here, somewhere in this range. Just targeting the London high. And then I think, yeah, so what I did, we broke structure to the downside here. And so when we broke structure to the upside again on the 1 minute with this candle, I added a contract and moved stops up just so I could get more risk on the table. Because once we fill this, I just expect price to deliver, especially with two strong draws like that to the upside. But we ended up getting stopped out, and then we break structure again to the downside, and then I think I honestly marked out this tiny sell side imbalance. And then when we broke structure with this candle and inversed the sell side imbalance, I waited for like a small retrace, got in there, stops there, and targeted London highs again, and this trade played out. I don't take multiple entries a lot. This one was honestly questionable just because of this price action. Like once we sweep this, it honestly reminded me of the high time frame, how we swept out this like same low multiple times. It kind of happened here on the 1 minute. But I trusted the draw to relative equal highs of previous sessions liquidity, and market was moving up. I just didn't expect a reversal back to the downside after this move. So those were my 3 trades in the past 2 days. Those are the only trades I've taken since last Friday, the 27th. But bank holiday tomorrow, July 4th, not gonna be trading. And then next week the news looks pretty rough. And so I think I'm gonna stay on this funded that I just took the payout on. And after next week, I'm gonna buy a couple more evals and look to pass those and start scaling up.